Hey everybody, Matty here with Altcoin Buzz, TJF, and happy Friday. The markets are smiling upon us today. $531.9 billion total market cap. That's up 3.7% in just a day. Bitcoin also up about the same, 3.4% now, just under 18.7K. So that's $18,685 at the time of this recording. Ethereum is doing very, very well, up above $500. It is up 6.2% on the day. Actually, along with a lot of other altcoins, we're seeing great performance here across the board. So it's a distributed gain here, not only in Bitcoin, but across actually more so in some of the altcoin projects today. Take a look at XRP, up 5% on the day. Chainlink up nearly 3%. Litecoin up a couple of percentage points. And Polkadot, we're going to be discussing Polkadot and whether or not it is the true, purportedly, Ethereum killer. At the end of this video, Polkadot is up 12.7% on the day, now at $5.30. Again, along with a lot of other altcoins. It's usually kind of more one or the other. It's either Bitcoin or it's altcoins. Take a look, if you haven't already, at our last video on the subject. We discussed if altcoin season is coming, more like when it's coming. It's kind of an inevitable occurrence, at least in my opinion. I thought some of the altcoin performance that we've been seeing would be more delayed. I was under the impression that it would be strictly the Bitcoin show, really until we hit new all-time highs, but it's kind of happening simultaneously now. Altcoins are rising along with Bitcoin. It's not to say that the altcoin season won't follow, but we're just seeing better performance now than I was previously expecting. Check out our video on the subject here if you haven't already, but let's go back and take a look with some perspective as to what some of the better performing projects out there are. Rect Capital here on Twitter. The fact that Litecoin or YFI have consistently been the top performing coins on Coinbase as of late shows that investors are ecstatic about their Bitcoin gains and are slowly getting comfortable with allocating their capital into altcoins. Alt season starts with a few key coins at first. And the point I guess I'm trying to make is that this isn't altcoin season yet. And if this isn't altcoin season, if this is still Bitcoin's show, Bitcoin is still kind of hogging the spotlight, can you imagine what is to follow? I think it's going to be better and bigger than previous cycles by a lot. And this time around, the altcoin potential is appealing to more than just the private investors here. Grayscale now holds over $60 million worth of Litecoin in assets under management. If I had to guess, I would say they are bullish on LTC. I think that's a safe guess. And it's unbelievable here. The 19th of November update shows that Grayscale has now $10.8 billion in assets under management. With the price swells that we just saw, I'm sure it's north of that. It's in excess today of $11 billion. Just based on the fluctuations to the positive that we're seeing in Bitcoin and altcoins, Grayscale is effectively able to add hundreds of millions of dollars to that figure on a daily basis without even injecting anything else into their pools. But hey, look, if all of this excitement is not for you, you're always welcome to go back. And I think Chase Bank is offering 0.5% APY on USD deposits right now. If anyone is interested, a checking account remains an option if you're so inclined. Which kind of brings us to this next question raised here by Altcoin Buzz IO on Twitter. When someone asks, should I buy Bitcoin? What's your usual answer? And, without kind of the whole investor perspective, just getting into the Bitcoin space in the first place, likely it's the result of a couple of things: exuberance, excitement. They're seeing the prices rise and they're wondering, hey, how do I get on that? There is a FOMO element, that's for sure. But here's my honest answer when it comes to people asking me this question, should I buy Bitcoin? I ask a follow-up question to them and I ask, are you familiar with the ecosystem, specifically the mechanics of it? Are you familiar, for example, with public and private keys? Most often the answer is no. So what I then do, as almost like a bit of a challenge, is I say, look, here are the tools that I use. Here are the tools that we use with Altcoin Buzz. We discuss them on a regular basis. And I say, get yourself set up on the following platform, on the following exchange, with the following account. And then I make sure that they're a little bit more familiar with whether it's a wallet or whether it's a mechanic that they wouldn't have otherwise been exposed to. I say, get your feet wet, get your hands dirty, make sure you understand at a mechanical level how some of these systems and ecosystems work. I then come back a day or two later and I send a little microscopic amount of Bitcoin so they have a sense of how it all works, because very often, they're clueless. And it's not to sound condescending or whatever, but people that are not in this space don't really know anything about it. It's like, if you go back 20 years or so, it's like introducing the internet or maybe email to whether it's an older family member, relative, friend, what have you. But if people aren't familiar with it, they're not familiar with it, and by no fault of their own. So that's what I kind of do. I kind of lay the breadcrumb trail, and I try to sound enticing, and I say, this is kind of how it operates. If you're still on board, let's talk further. Let's discuss the mechanics in more detail. What I never do, personally speaking, is I never offer financial advice. So even if they're on board, I never say, hey, you should invest $1 or $1 million, because that comes down to a subjective appraisal of one's own, risk appetite, one's own portfolio, their own financial strength. So if they want to get into the space, I leave all, the quantifiable numbers to them. But I do provide the key. I provide kind of that gateway, that opportunity to enter the space, and we can discuss the mechanics really till the cows come home. So let us know your thoughts about that, guys. When someone asks you, all members of the Altcoin Buzz Army, you guys are veterans and experts in your own right. When somebody asks you, should I buy Bitcoin? How do you handle that? How do you juggle that? And what kind of an answer do you provide? Here is some insight into perhaps how Mike Novogratz would answer the question. He tweets, when you have decided to hodl, the stress of the market melts away. Bitcoin and Ethereum going much higher. Try hodling. You will enjoy it. Galaxy, obviously for Galaxy Digital there, a little bit of a plug at the end of his tweet. And I think that's great advice. If you've kind of convinced somebody to get into the space and they're insistent, they say, no, I'm going to spend a certain amount, you may as well kind of provide a recommendation. In those moments where you're dealing with somebody that's very insistent, I'll say the following. Look, in a relative sense, of course, you want to buy low and sell high, but this is a space that fluctuates more than any other financial space, more than the bond market, more than the stock market. I mean, this is volatile on a level that we've never seen before. There's no parallel in the world. So if you want peace of mind, and just, this is kind of my own personal experience, buy low, sell high to the best of your ability, but also hodl. Don't worry so much about the fluctuations day to day, week to week, month to month, or even year to year for that matter. I think hodling is good advice for somebody that is insistent, that's going to get in regardless of what you have to say. And there's good reason for those people to feel compelled to get into the space. The FOMO exists for a reason here. Katsua Research, 21% of US dollars were printed in 2020 so far, or $4.5 trillion. Let me read that again. Of the dollars that exist today in 2020, 21% were printed this year. This is more than the amount of money created in the previous 5 years, yet only 5% of it is new cash in circulation. And going back to this tweet here, it's the reason that the Chase banks of the world are no longer competitive. They're dealing with ultimately what is becoming a major inflation problem, and 0.5% APY is just about the best that they have to offer. And again, guys, this is the reason why the now Deutsche banks and why the Citibanks of the world are talking up Bitcoin investments with their private bigwig institutional clients. The writing is on the wall. And now a short message for my fellow Canucks out there in the Altcoin Buzz Army. As you guys know, I've been a user of Crypto.com, of the CRO token, of that entire ecosystem. I've not yet been able to get a credit card effectively, and now I'm happy to announce that as of this morning, at Crypto.com on Twitter are announcing that the Crypto.com Visa card is indeed coming to Canada, and you can apply for yours and be among the first to get one. The cards are shipping in just a couple of months in January. If you have depending on the card, the tier that you're going for, if you have your CRO staked, you can then click this link to apply for the card. Again, guys, if you're going ahead with this process, you may as well avail yourself of our exclusive code AB, which you can find in the comments and the description below. If you're going to go ahead and sign up for a CRO Visa card, you can get $25 added onto it for free, and it's a two-way thing. You get $25, we get $25 rather, so it's a win-win situation. All you have to do is apply the exclusive Altcoin Buzz code, which you'll find below. Again, it is simply AB. That gets you $25 on your new CRO Visa card. Okay, let's discuss now this so-called Ethereum killer. All of the projects out there have been Ethereum killers, but does Polkadot perhaps provide the best case to live up to that moniker, to live up to its name? It is up 12.3% on the day, $5.30 right now. We're discussing it here on altcoinbuzz.io. Ethereum killer Polkadot about to showcase its potential. This article by Deepika. As DeFi continues to grow, Polkadot is expected to be the next Ethereum, as many are saying. And to top that, many investors believe Polkadot is poised to offer brand new scalability, finality, and governance features. And all of this will be talked about in detail at the upcoming Polkadot Decoded conference. So the Polkadot Decoded conference is where the network is going to hold its first official event. It's happening on the 3rd of December 2020, so that's coming up very soon, and this is all courtesy of an official announcement. It's going to be a one-day virtual event, and it's going to feature blockchain innovators like Ampleforth and others, and it's a no-fee event which might continue to be a mainstay event in the calendar years ahead. It is very likely that interoperability will be a main theme of the event. That is because interoperability continues to be the most discussed topic in the blockchain space, and therefore it stands to reason that at Polkadot Decoded, yes, interoperability will take center stage. Some of the notable discussions will be number 1, Snowfork developed Polkadot Ethereum bridge, number 2, Polka BTC bringing wrapped BTC to the platform, and number 3, Polkadot in multi-chain future. And according to some recent reporting by the Block Research, Dot's native platform is the most popular staking network. And the report reveals that DOT, worth about $3 billion, are staked and holders are earning passive income on that sum, $3 billion. Okay, let's set the record straight. Do I agree that Polkadot is going to overtake Ethereum? Bluntly, no. I think Dot's got a great future. It's sitting at a market cap right now of just below $5 billion. And every indication seems to be that's going to increase with time. That interoperability factor is a major one, and I think Polkadot's got a great future, but it would have to swell to more than tenfold of its current value just to catch up to Ethereum, currently sitting at above $57 billion, and I don't think Ethereum is sitting still. I think Ethereum is a juggernaut whose best days and whose all-time highs are still ahead of it. I think DeFi shows no sign of slowing down. That's a space that is only going to continue to expand. Ethereum 2.0 is coming up very shortly at the beginning of December, and add to that all of the smart contracts, all of the network value that will be placed on Ethereum. I don't think Ethereum is slowing down anytime soon. So I don't think, actually, to be candid, Polkadot's going to catch up. What I do think, however, is that there's going to be space enough in this sector for both Polkadot and Ethereum to exist simultaneously. Ethereum, I think, will always be the ETH killer. It'll be its own Ethereum killer. Personally, I don't think anybody's catching up. I think Ethereum has all of the agility and flexibility to kind of adapt as needed going forward. It's got a first mover advantage. I think it's got everything going for it in that sense, including increasingly the corporate and the institutional interest now that's starting to find, real estate on that network, that's starting to occupy it and populate it more and more and more. Just my opinion, guys. Let me know your thoughts about that in the comments below, and be sure to sound off, especially if you feel I'm incorrect about this. I'd love to hear your point of view. And that about wraps it up for this Friday, everybody. Do be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels, and keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. Go ahead, like, subscribe, share, and hit the bell, of course, to receive notifications if you guys enjoyed today's video. Best of luck if you choose to invest. Have a great tail end to your week, a great start to your weekend. Stay safe out there, everybody. And as always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.